Hello, welcome to this skill acquisition screencast on theories of learning. So far, we've looked at classifications of skill, stages of learning, practice types, feedback, types of guidance, and transfer of skills. We've also looked at two different types of theories of learning. We've got the last one to do today. So that is the cognitive theory of learning. So if we look at the specification, principles and theories of learning movement skills, operant conditioning, cognitive theory of learning, and Bandura's theory of observational learning. We've looked at these two. We're now going on to cognitive theory of learning. First of all, just so we're aware, this goes completely against operant conditioning. Okay, so it proposes that we use our brain and mental processes to learn and solve problems ourselves. Okay, so it suggests that structured conditions, i.e., using a target's pass through, is not effective. Okay, now past exam questions that we've had that you can look at now. Describe the cognitive theory of learning movement skills. Use an example to describe the cognitive theory of learning being applied in sport. Using a sporting example, describe how a coach would teach a performer according to the cognitive theory of learning. And finally, 4 marker, some performers learn a new skill by following the cognitive theory of learning. Analyse how following this approach may affect their learning. So hopefully by the end of our lesson, you'll be able to answer all of these, okay? Now, what we need is to know that cognitive theory of learning is based on gestaltism and it's all about problem solving. Okay, this will potentially get you a mark in some mark schemes. It's a theory based on gestaltism and problem solving. Gestaltism essentially suggests that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So, for example, straight away, this theory, the cognitive theory of learning, suggests that we need to learn a skill as a whole. So whole learning has to take place. That proposes that skills are learnt best as a whole, e.g. teaching the front crawl as a whole, not breaking it up into parts. Okay, so teaching the front crawl skill as a whole. We also have intervening variables, i.e. these are variables that are considered. So for example, a coach could encourage the swimmer to visualize the front crawl action. Okay, that's us considering different variables. Let's try and visualize the front crawl action in its entirety, obviously in the whole skill. Then we have perception. So the performer interprets the information. For example, the timing of the arm and leg movements together in the front crawl. You have a perception of this, and this is apparently how we learn according to the cognitive theory of learning. Finally, we use past experiences to help us. Okay, so past experiences are used to formulate new ideas. So past experiences of other strokes in swimming will help with the front crawl swim. And then finally, we have insight. Okay, so the performer develops intuition. For example, working out and understanding how to do the front crawl successfully. Okay, so they're your key Cornell notes for the lesson. Please make sure you have questions for these that will give you the answers. Whole learning, intervening variables, perception, past experiences, and insight. According to the cognitive theory of learning, this is how we learn. It is a theory based on gestaltism and problem solving. Thank you for listening.